you want to make your business more profitable and more saleable, you need to think about putting a moat around your business and protecting it. Now, of course, I'm not actually talking about building a castle and a little river around your business. What we're actually referring to is making it harder for people to compete with your business. Now, that might seem obvious that if you have less competitors, you have more sales. But there is far more to this than originally meets the eye. Now, this is not a new concept. This concept, known as Porter's barriers to entry, was originally spoken about by a very famous business strategist called Michael Porter, who in the 70s and 80s was a very famous strategist at the Harvard Business School. And his logic is that the best businesses have what's known as barriers to entry. And that means that it's difficult for new businesses to enter into your marketplace and to compete with you. Now, when it's difficult for people to enter into your marketplace and compete with you at the same level that your business performs at, then it means that not only are there less competitors, but it also means as a business you have far more control over your customers. That means that you're definitely not going to be as price sensitive as if you were in a very flooded marketplace. And that is exactly why these businesses tend to be more profitable. But also, if it's much more difficult for businesses to compete with you because you have something that either needs to be bought, earned over time, or some sort of special skill that needs to be acquired, then it's very difficult for people to enter into your marketplace and compete with your business, and that makes your business safer and more attractive to external investors. And that is why businesses that have barriers to entry or have a moat around them tend to sell for a higher price too. Now, the reality is that a lot of small businesses don't start out with these big moats around them and protected, and the reasons why I'll tell you about in a minute. The reality is that you're likely to have started your small business like a lot of small businesses do, as an individual with little capital and an idea and a lot of hard work. So barriers to entry or protection around your business tends to be built up over time. So if you want to make your business more profitable and more valuable, you need to think about how you can put these barriers in place and prevent more people from coming into the marketplace and competing with you. And I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can do that. So the first and most obvious reason for it being difficult for somebody to enter into your marketplace is because there's a high capital outlay. So if, for example, you want to be a hotelier, you need to be able to afford to buy a hotel. So the reality is that a lot of people might start out with maybe doing serviced accommodation or a B&B or something like that. But if you can get enough capital behind you to work your way up to having a hotel, for example, then it's going to be quite difficult for multiple other people to compete with you. You're going to be only competing with people that have got a similar or more capital outlay to you. So therefore, investing in your business in capital assets that help you to do your job will actually make your business more valuable and more difficult to compete with. So similarly to these physical assets, it can also be very difficult for people to compete with you if you have some sort of intellectual property. So generally when we're talking about intellectual property, we're talking about trademarks, patents, that type of thing. So if there is anything unique or special about your business, your processes that you think that you can put a patent behind, then absolutely apply for it and do it, because this is one of the most fantastic ways to put a moat around your business and protect it. Because if nobody can replicate your products, then you're not going to have any direct competitors. So one of the hardest things about starting a business is actually growing your audience, or you're growing your customer list. Once you've got there and you've got an email list and you've got a CRM full of potential clients and old clients and existing clients, everything tends to be much easier. It tends to be easier to generate sales from. So having an audience, an existing audience, is actually a big barrier to entry for new businesses, because the only way that a new business can compete on the same scale as you is to either buy their audience through expensive Google ads and things like that, and therefore they need money behind them to be able to do that, or they've got to work for their audience and earn it over time by organic advertising and growing their audience list. So if you are a business that doesn't have a CRM and is not looking at their audience or their email list like it is a valuable asset, then you are overlooking a massive, massive asset in your business. Just simply by having an email list with more people on it than your competitors, then you have more chance of making sales and therefore making profit than your competitors do. And this, of course, not only puts more money in your pocket, but makes your business more valuable. So setting up a CRM and having a way of actively farming and harvesting your existing contacts is a fantastic way of putting a moat around your business and making it difficult for your competitors to compete with you. Now, if you wanted to, say, for example, set up a supermarket, you would think that you would have no chance of competing with some of the big guys like Tesco's, Asda's, Sainsbury's on pricing. And that's because they have economies of scale. You can get your business to a point where you have some form of economy of scale or price advantage, then you're going to make it difficult for people to compete with you. Now, the most obvious and common example of this is if you think about businesses that have offshored their manufacturing processes to the Far East. So anybody that's using production facility in China, for example, is going to have a competitive advantage on cost alone. Now, I would say that this concept really applies when you're thinking most about businesses where your product or service isn't unique, where products can be easily interchanged for each other, or where somebody else can produce exactly the same product that you are producing. So once you get to that point where you can bring in an entire shipment container from China in one go, you are going to have serious cost advantages over your competitors who are buying on an item per item basis. And this is why getting your business to a certain size and making sure that you can take advantage of economies of scale is incredibly powerful when it comes to putting a moat around your business. And of course, the people that do that best are the likes of Amazon, Tesco's, etc. Their buying power is phenomenal. So my final way that you can put a moat around your business is to think about regulation. Now, if you, for example, want to teach people, you could go and be a business coach, and there's pretty much no qualification or regulation controlling you from doing that. But if you want to set up a school, you have to be a qualified teacher, you have to be registered with certain bodies, have certain insurance and certain requirements in place. And therefore, there's a lot of competition in the business coach market, but there's not as much competition in the private schools market. And that's why if you can do anything in some sort of regulated service or something where you need a set qualification or license, or there's complicated regulation around health and safety or something like that, it's going to make it incredibly difficult for new people to enter into that marketplace because they need so much knowledge, qualifications, experience, licenses, all of that type of thing before they can even make a single sale. So if you operate or you've got a skill set that's in some sort of regulated industry, then this can be a fantastic way of putting a moat around your business and preventing people from competing with you. Of course, there's business schools and there's business coaches, but these are completely different. And generally speaking, the business schools will be far more profitable than the one-man band solo business coaches. Now, what's really crucial with putting a moat around your business is that this isn't something you do when you start or when you're looking to exit your business. This is a business evolution. So your business is likely to start off like most businesses do, with very little barriers to entry because you're trying to find the quickest and easiest way to enter into your marketplace. As you get more established, as you become more confident, and more importantly, as you get more capital and cash behind you, you can start investing in some of these barriers to entry that in the long term make your business more profitable and more valuable.